everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I will be recommending some winter and holiday romances. So I did a fall romance recommendation video that I really enjoyed doing, and I thought I would go ahead and do one for the winter season and the holiday season. I actually don't have that many recommendations today, and I realized I don't read a lot of Christmas romances. I don't know why, but for some reason I just don't read them. And I feel like there are so many Christmas romances out there, and I think I get a little overwhelmed and I just don't know which ones to read. So essentially, I'm making this video so that you guys can recommend me some Christmas romances or some winter and holiday themed romances. I just don't know which ones are good. I don't know which ones to read. So please give me some recommendations down below. I will also leave a link to my fall romance recommendations video that I talked about. I will also link a playlist for all of the past recommendation videos that I've done before on my channel. I have 6 books to recommend for some winter and holiday romances, but honestly, my recommendations, I don't feel like they're that good. But I'm just gonna recommend the ones I have read and I have enjoyed and that maybe you would also like. I don't know, I just feel like I really wanted to do this video, but I don't have any really good recommendations. Also, some of these don't necessarily take place at Christmas or during the Christmas season, but they have more of like a wintry feel, a winter vibe. So let's go ahead and get into the recommendations. So the first one I have to recommend is The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. I haven't talked about this book in a video in a very long time. I actually can't remember the last time I've mentioned this book and this series, but I absolutely love this series. I actually binged this entire series back in November and December of 2014. The Bronze Horseman essentially follows Tatiana and Alexander, who fall in love in 1941 in Russia. Tatiana is the youngest daughter of this family, and Alexander is a soldier. Oh, he's an officer in the Red Army. The romance is so captivating and unique and just special, and I feel like the characters really fought to be together and really suffered through so much. This series is definitely like really sad. I will say that, like, the whole series is very sad and exhausting. Like I said, like, there is so much that happens. There is so much loss. But there is also so much love and hope. This might not be the best book to read around the holidays because it might make you really sad, but it definitely takes place in the winter and has all of the winter vibes, and I really love this entire series. I feel like there aren't many words that I can say to describe the series just because it is in such a league of its own. All of the characters are just so complicated and complex and a little problematic. Like, each character isn't perfect. At the end of the day, like, they're just trying to survive and to find some sort of happiness. Tatiana and Alexander definitely go through a lot of ups and downs throughout this whole series, but I just loved them. Like, I can't help but love this series. Even thinking about it just makes me feel tired. Like, I'm just remembering all the things that happened in the series, and it's a lot. The series is a lot, but it definitely reminds me of the winter time, and I feel like it is a very good but long wintry book to read. The next one I recommend is a little novella, and that is Christmas in Quincy by Devney Perry. This is technically book 0.5 in the Edens series. This I read back in January and really enjoyed it. This is a small, quick novella. I think it's less than 150 pages. It's a great intro to the Eden series, and this obviously takes place at Christmas time. It follows our female character who is part of this rich family, and she decides to spend the holidays away from her family. She doesn't want anything to do with her father's holiday parties and stuff. And so she escapes to Quincy to have this very chill, relaxed Christmas on her own. But her father's head of security, Austin, knocks on her door and is determined to drag her back to California. Obviously, it was very short, but it was very cute, and I feel like both characters had a lot of development in a very short amount of time, and I really liked their romance. I liked how it was kind of like a bodyguard trope a little bit. It had all of the small town vibes, and it was very wintry and Christmassy, and I really, really enjoyed it. The next wintry holiday romance that I'm going to recommend is, of course, the Simple Wild series by K.A. Tucker. I didn't know if I should recommend this in my fall romance recommendation video or in this one, but I decided to recommend it in the winter one because I feel like this series definitely reminds me more of winter time than the fall time. And I mean, the little novella Forever Wild does take place at Christmas time, so I definitely think it was more suited to recommend it for the winter time. So the first book is The Simple Wild, book 2 is Wild at Heart, and like I said, the novella is Forever Wild. This essentially follows Calla, who lives in Toronto, and she gets a phone call from her father's friend who essentially says that he's sick and that he probably won't have much time left, and that if Calla wanted to make amends, her time would be now. So Calla decides to go all the way to Alaska to try to have some sort of relationship with her dad. And she also ends up meeting a guy named Jonah, who she doesn't really get along with at first. And it's just about her building this relationship with her dad and also getting to know like his lifestyle and living in Alaska and how they survive and live and stuff. I loved this series so much. I loved the first book. Book 2, I have very mixed feelings on, to be honest. I think I gave it 4 stars, but I wanted to change it to 3. I just felt like book 2 was kind of off in my opinion. Like I just didn't like the direction it went in, but the little novella made up for all of that. This was like perfect. I gave it 5 stars. I really, really loved it. But yeah, this series is very emotional and romantic and heartfelt, and I loved Calla and Jonah. I definitely feel like winter is the best time to binge the series. The next one I'm recommending is The Boss Who Stole Christmas by Janet Aston. This is the first book in the Reindeer Falls series. There are 6 books in this series, and they're just all little Christmas novellas. I have only read the first one, I think, and I have yet to continue, but I did somewhat enjoy the first one. This short story is less than 100 pages, and it essentially just follows our female character who wants a new boss. Like, she doesn't like her boss, but she is super attracted to him. She wants a new boss. It's fun, it's funny, quick, very sweet, kind of has some like play on words. I mean, our character's name is Holly Winter, which is cute. It's just cheesy and fun and something very quick, and I thought I would go ahead and recommend it if you haven't read it yet. The next one I have to recommend is An Ex for Christmas by Lauren Lane. This also isn't very long. I think it's less than like 250 pages, and it follows our female character who meets this sidekick. This sidekick has told her that she has already met her true love, and she is desperate to find out like who her soulmate is. So she makes this list of all of her exes, and she's like convinced that maybe one of her exes is her true love. But suddenly she feels this connection to her best guy friend. This was a very cute and sweet friends to lovers rom-com. I absolutely loved it. I will say the ending did feel a little rushed, but I really enjoyed it, and it is one of my favorites by Lauren Lane. And the last one I have to recommend is Frigid by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This essentially is a new adult best friends to lovers romance. It follows these 2 characters who are best friends, and the female character has always been in love with the male character, and the male character also secretly loves her, but he has tried to hide his feelings for so many years. And they are suddenly stranded at a ski resort together, and there's like this huge snowfall, they're snowed in, and they have to spend a couple of days together, just the two of them. I read this back in 2013, so my memory is not that clear on this book, but I do remember really enjoying it, and it definitely giving off the winter vibes with the ski resort and the snowed in aspect. I thought the friends to lovers aspect in here was great. Like, I loved the characters, and I remember this book being very like cozy and warm and like heartfelt, and I just thought it would be the perfect book to recommend for the winter and holiday season. So those were all the winter and holiday romances that I had to recommend. I'm sorry if I didn't really give that many great recommendations, but like I said, I really want you guys to recommend me some because I just really don't know where to start. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.